It was a day like any other, a morning that began with the familiar rhythm of city life. The sun rose over the skyline, casting golden light on people hurrying to their destinations, each lost in their own thoughts, unaware that something unforgettable was about to unfold. In the world of television, the atmosphere buzzed with routine excitement. Crew members moved with practiced precision, preparing the set for another episode, unaware that today's show would be anything but ordinary. Denzel Washington, the acclaimed actor known for his gravitas and wisdom, sat comfortably in his chair. He was ready to share stories about his latest film, to reflect on the lessons he's learned throughout his remarkable career, and to inspire viewers with his trademark humility and insight. We've seen Denzel in countless interviews, always poised, always in control, his words measured and his presence commanding. He's a master of the spotlight, rarely caught off guard, always prepared for whatever questions come his way. But on this day, something extraordinary happened, something that would shake even a seasoned veteran like Denzel. The host paused mid-conversation, a sudden seriousness in their tone. They announced a surprise caller, hinting that this was no ordinary interruption. Instantly, the energy in the room shifted. Curiosity and anticipation filled the air as everyone, audience, crew, and guest, wondered who could be on the other end of the line. On the line, all the way from Burkina Faso, we have President Ibrahim Traoré, the host declared, their voice echoing through the studio. The announcement sent a ripple of shock through everyone present. Denzel's composure broke for the briefest moment. His eyes widened in disbelief. The unexpected connection left him visibly moved, his usual calm replaced by genuine surprise and emotion. This was more than a celebrity moment. It was a bridge between worlds, a powerful reminder of how art and influence can transcend borders and bring people together from vastly different backgrounds. The studio fell silent, the weight of the moment settling over everyone. For a few heartbeats, time seemed to pause, as if the world itself was holding its breath, sensing the gravity of what was unfolding before them. It was a powerful reminder that our words and actions can echo far beyond what we imagine, touching lives in distant places and inspiring hope where it's needed most. The impact of a single conversation can ripple across continents, connecting hearts and minds. Denzel Washington, the titan of film, was about to witness the true reach of his influence. In that moment, he wasn't just an actor. He was a symbol of unity, humility, and the unexpected ways our lives can intersect. It was a moment that stilled the world, a rare, unforgettable intersection of fame, history, and humanity, reminding us all of the extraordinary power of connection. To understand the weight of that moment, you have to understand Denzel Washington. For over 40 years, he's embodied characters with rare depth and integrity. He chooses roles with purpose, stories of hope, resilience, and justice. Beyond acting, Denzel is known for his faith, family, and wisdom. His advice, fall forward, aspire to make a difference, is how he lives. Raised in Mount Vernon, New York, his upbringing gave him a strong moral compass. A prophecy once told him he'd speak to millions. It planted a seed of purpose. When Denzel sits in that interview chair, he brings all of this with him. This is the man about to receive a call that would connect his life's work to a nation's hope. Now let's cross the Atlantic to Burkina Faso and meet Ibrahim Traoré. Not a movie star, but a young military leader who became president in 2022 during national turmoil. Traoré's rise was driven by duty, not ambition. He fights for his people's future. He represents a new generation of African leaders, sovereign, dignified, self-reliant. His message to the youth is clear: believe in yourselves and your country. Traoré's leadership is about empowering his people to own their destiny. In searching for inspiration, he looked to Denzel's characters, symbols of courage and justice. This is the man who picked up the phone to make that incredible call. Back in the studio, anticipation was palpable. The air was thick with excitement and nerves, as everyone present sensed that something extraordinary was about to unfold. Producers whispered urgently, camera operators adjusted their focus, and the entire crew seemed to hold their breath, waiting for the moment that would bridge two distant worlds. Suddenly, President Traoré's voice filled the room, clear, dignified, and resonant. "Mr. Washington, it is an honor," he began, his words carrying the weight of a nation's gratitude across thousands of miles. Denzel, momentarily speechless, listened intently as the leader explained the reason for his call. The actor's eyes widened in surprise, his expression shifting from curiosity to deep emotion as the conversation unfolded. Traoré spoke passionately of his nation's ongoing struggle, the daily challenges faced by his people, and the urgent need to inspire the next generation. He described how hope was sometimes scarce, but stories of resilience could light the way. He explained that Denzel's films weren't just entertainment for his people, they were powerful lessons in leadership, courage, and perseverance. Families would gather to watch, finding strength in the characters Denzel brought to life. Traoré specifically mentioned Malcolm X and the Great Debaters, describing how these roles had given his people strength during difficult times. The stories of standing up for justice and speaking truth to power resonated deeply in Burkina Faso. "You have taught us to stand tall, to fight for dignity," Traoré said, his voice filled with sincerity. The gratitude in his words was undeniable, echoing the feelings of millions who had been moved by Denzel's work. The camera caught Denzel's humility in that moment. His many awards and accolades seemed to fade into the background, overshadowed by the profound impact of this tribute. For him, this recognition was more meaningful than any trophy. This was validation not just of his acting, but of his life's purpose. Denzel realized that his work had reached far beyond Hollywood, touching lives and inspiring hope in places he had never visited. The impact of his work was being reflected back at him in the most powerful way. He saw the emotional reactions of those around him, and on the other end of the line, a leader smiling with genuine appreciation. The audience in the studio was silent, completely captivated by the exchange. They witnessed a rare, genuine connection, one that transcended language, culture, and distance. In that moment, two worlds became one. The boundaries of geography and background seemed to dissolve, replaced by a shared sense of purpose and mutual respect. The power of inspiration was undeniable. It was a reminder that stories can unite us, that a single voice can echo across continents, and that true connection knows no borders. President Traoré once shared a deeply personal story, one that revealed the hidden sources of his strength. As a young officer, facing the immense pressures and dangers of military life, he often found himself searching for guidance and inspiration. Surprisingly, he found it in the powerful performances of Denzel Washington. Traoré would watch Denzel's films late at night, drawing courage from the characters he portrayed, men who stood tall in the face of adversity, who never wavered in their convictions. He recalled a particular line that stayed with him through the toughest times, a line that echoed in his mind during moments of doubt and fear. "Forgiveness is between them and God. It's my job to arrange the meeting." These words, delivered with steely resolve by Denzel's character, became a mantra for Traoré, a reminder of the burden of leadership and the responsibility to protect his people at all costs. For Traoré, this line was more than just a quote from a movie. It was a call to action, a guiding principle that shaped his approach to leadership. He understood that, as a leader, he had to make difficult decisions, sometimes standing alone to shield his community from harm. The weight of that responsibility was immense, but Denzel's words gave him the strength to carry it. Then, in a moment that would be remembered by all who witnessed it, President Traoré turned to Denzel and spoke words that broke through the actor's composure. "You may be an actor, but for us, you are a symbol of hope," he said, his voice steady but filled with emotion. "You have shown us that our stories matter. In our fight for a new Africa, you have been an inspiration. Your characters have given us courage when we felt weak, and your stories have reminded us that we are not alone in our struggles." Silence followed. The room seemed to hold its breath. A single tear rolled down Denzel's cheek, a silent testament to the power of words and the unexpected ways in which art can touch lives. Denzel tried to speak, but his voice was thick with emotion. The weight of Traoré's gratitude and the realization of the impact his work had made left him momentarily speechless. Finally, he managed to whisper, "God bless you and your people. I am humbled. I am just a storyteller. To know my stories gave you strength. That is the greatest award I could ever receive." His words were soft, but they carried the sincerity of a man who had just discovered the true reach of his craft. The exchange was complete. A circle of inspiration closed. In that moment, the boundaries between actor and leader, between fiction and reality, seemed to dissolve. The actor who had drawn strength from his purpose had inspired a leader who now reflected that inspiration back. It was a powerful reminder that the stories we tell and the lives we touch can create ripples that travel far beyond what we ever imagine. The audience felt it too, A moment of pure, unfiltered gratitude swept through the room. People wiped away tears, moved by the vulnerability and honesty on display. Denzel's vulnerability showed the true power of connection. In opening his heart, he allowed others to do the same, creating a space where empathy and understanding could flourish. This was more than a simple thank you. It was a validation of a life's work. For Denzel, it was a moment of realization that his art had not only entertained, but had also empowered and uplifted those who needed it most. The world watched as a titan was moved to tears. Cameras captured the raw emotion, broadcasting it to millions who saw, perhaps for the first time, the profound impact that stories can have on the human spirit. The impact was immediate and profound. In that room, and in the hearts of all who witnessed it, something shifted. A deeper appreciation for the power of inspiration and the bonds that unite us. Inspiration had come full circle. The storyteller and the leader, once separated by continents and circumstance, were now forever linked by the words that moved a titan. The moment didn't end with the call, it rippled across the world. The clip went viral, not for scandal, but for its humanity. People shared it as proof that true impact transcends borders. It bridged Hollywood and West Africa, showing inspiration is universal. Denzel called it one of the most meaningful moments of his life. For Traoré and Burkina Faso, it was a source of pride and unity. The call amplified a message of empowerment and dignity. The ripple effect strengthened both nations, connecting their struggles and hopes. At the heart of this story is kindness. President Traoré's call was an act of gratitude, a simple gesture with immeasurable value. It reminds us that acknowledging others' impact is a universal language. True strength is found in vulnerability and gratitude. Both men showed strength, one by honoring his inspiration, the other by receiving it with humility. Think of the unexpected connections in your own life. Have you thanked those who've inspired you? Small acts of kindness create ripples of positivity. The call between Denzel and Traoré was a global demonstration of this principle. A simple thank you became a worldwide story of hope and unity. It's easy to think this story only applies to the famous, but the real lesson is that we all have the power to inspire. Your influence starts in your own world, with everyday actions. You are a role model to someone, even if you don't know it. The characters you play in life, friend, parent, neighbor, are opportunities to inspire. You don't have to be perfect. It's the effort and purpose that matter. Your life is your message to the world. The story of Denzel and Traoré is our story, a call to recognize our own influence. You have the power to be someone's inspiration. Embrace it. We've witnessed a story of inspiration crossing continents. Now, what will you do with this feeling? Think of someone who has inspired you. Hold them in your mind. Reach out. Tell them what they mean to you. Start your own ripple of kindness. Then, look inward. How can you inspire today? Maybe it's a word of encouragement or standing up for what's right. Your life is your performance. Your actions are your script. Every day is a new scene. Play the hero in someone's story. The greatest accolades are the lives you touch. So go out and live in a way that inspires. Be kind, be courageous. The world is watching, and you have the power to move them.